Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video, join me for an amazing interview with Mark Boudreaux, one of the head designers at Hasbro, and to check out their booth setup at Star Wars Celebration 2019 Chicago. Alright guys, let's get this started off here. The Hasbro booth at Star Wars Celebration was absolutely massive. They had display case after display case, showcasing and highlighting all of their upcoming figures and even what was out currently. As you can see here guys, they're bringing out some awesome new archive figures and getting those hard to find pieces back into the hands of collectors. The new retro line that Hasbro is producing looks so good in person. Now I know online there has been a lot of people complaining, thinking that this line is going to start flooding the market with what people would say is reproductions. Now I can assure you, after seeing this line in person, there are plenty of distinct differences between the two figures, yet they bring back that essence of Kenner, and I think it's going to bring a lot of new people into the vintage collecting hobby. With the return of the vintage collection, they've been doing great set after great set. They brought the barge out, and they keep bringing out things to populate the barge and enrich the universe of Star Wars. Here's a few of those pieces, and then here we are back to the other line of the retro line. So one thing that was interesting about their booth setup is that sometimes the lines that would relate together wouldn't necessarily all be in the same case so that you could go through regularly, like in a chronological order. They'd be on opposite sides. So as you'll see, here's some more vintage collection, and it was what was on the opposite side. Another really interesting thing that Hasbro had at their booth were these display cases with mini dioramas highlighting their 6-inch Black Series figures and great scenes from the movies we all know and love. Here we have some amazing multi-packs that will be available exclusively at Disney's Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. I don't know about you guys, but that Hondo Anaka right there is something I'm just going to have to add to my collection. That brings us on to the SDCC exclusive 6-inch Black Series Boba Fett in the paint style of the vintage Kenner action figure, a piece that's going to be in high demand for sure. Hasbro also had cases dedicated to their kid-focused lines, such as Galaxies of Adventure and the Star Wars Resistance figures as well. I hope you all enjoyed seeing some of the great new product that Hasbro will be bringing us here shortly, and some of the great lines that are already out in the stores. And that brings us here to an amazing interview. Hey everyone, I'm out here at Star Wars Celebration 2019 with a man who's helped bring joy to children across the galaxy, the designer of the Kenner Vintage Millennium Falcon, all the way up to helping out with the new sail barge, Mark Boudreaux.
How's it going?
Mark, so what's
Glad to be here.
Yeah, it's an honor to get to interview you. So Mark, what's it been like working with Hasbro and Kenner, designing all these toys and being able to bring joy to all the children across the world?
I'll tell you what, I love it. It's like a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. I started working when I was 22 years old and have been able to work on all the Star Wars items, or not the items, but the lines, all these years. You know, working with a great bunch of guys and gals, you know, designers, engineers, the model makers, our partners in China. You know, it's been a collective sort of passion, you know, all these years, and so it's been a pleasure.
It's awesome. Have you had a favorite project to work on? Has there been something that's been just that much more rewarding than the others?
Well, recently the sail barge. I really love doing the sail barge, and we really appreciate everybody's support on that. Well, I guess some of my favorite projects were the Big Millennium Falcon.
Okay, yeah.
The first one being the original Falcon.
Yeah.
When I was a co-op working in Cincinnati at Kenner, I was given that project to do. And so it was my job, along with the rest of the team, to try to do the drawings, figure out the size. We had our own model shop, so we would make a preliminary model. So that was my first taste of like real kind of toy development. So that was awesome. That's always stuck with me. And then years later, when we had the opportunity to do the big Millennium Falcon, I thought, wow, this is really great. I mean, to be able to take what we felt was so awesome about the first one, but expand it, you know, and let it be a Falcon that could cover all the classic movies, 4, 5, and 6, with the electronics, with the interiors. We really wanted to try to max that out, and I thought we did it pretty successfully.
Yeah, I have that piece in my personal collection. It's been great. What has been one of the best experience you've had from Cincinnati all the way to Pawtucket now for Hasbro to Kenner? Like, has there been an experience that really stood out to you and has just been a shining moment?
Well, I've had the opportunity to work with a lot of great people, like I said. Had an opportunity to go to England when on the set when they were filming Return of the Jedi. Actually sat in the cockpit of the Millennium Falcon when we were there.
That's awesome.
So that was really cool.
Awesome.
Got to see the creature shop, Snipes Noodles, you know, practicing or singing a pig guard in front of a mirror. It was awesome. They started taking the foam off this guy for a pig guard. So this 500-pound pig guard turned into this 90-pound guy in a black leotard, and steam was just coming off his back. So, and then we had an opportunity for episode 3 to go to Australia for the filming of the last film.
That is awesome.
And film of the first trilogy. So it's been an experience, like I said, once in a lifetime.
What advice do you have to everyone else out there, people looking to pursue their dreams and help out with many people as you have and bring others joy? What advice would you give them?
Well, I said, I'd follow your passion. You know, if you're passionate about something, try to do everything that you can to find out what it takes. You know, maybe it's some additional education. When I was passionate about making models and everything when I was younger, so I looked into education that would allow me to kind of follow that dream. Industrial design was it for me. I went to University of Cincinnati, and the great thing about that is a co-op program.
Yeah.
And that's how I ended up getting a job at Kenner.
That's really cool.
Yeah, so I would say follow your passion, you know, and really be diligent.
Thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome.
Guys, this has been Mark Boudreaux. If you want to stay up to date with the latest Hasbro news, make sure to check out Hasbro Pulse. I'll put a link to that in the description below. Have a great day, and may the Force be with you.